You know, with Halloween right around the corner, it's tomorrow. I thought I'm a big time horror fan. Have been for since I was a young teenager and was first able to see horror movies. I thought, well, maybe I'll come up with a list of some good movies you might want to watch on Halloween. Some good scary movies. And some of these aren't that well known. Some of them even aren't that well rated by critics, but I really like them. And I'm leaving out some of the obvious, like the original Halloween. That was great. Uh, I love all the serial slasher movies from the 70s and 80s. They aren't really that scary for the most part, though, especially like Freddy Krueger and, Jason with Friday the 13th. I'm also not including The Exorcist. I've never found The Exorcist scary at all. I don't really understand why people still say it's the scariest movie ever made. I don't. It's not scary at all to me. So that's just my opinion. So I'm not including it. And I will warn you, I am a big fan of found footage. They're my favorite movie genre. I know a lot of people hate them. I love Blair Witch, man. Blair Witch, the original Blair Witch. I haven't seen the new one. I really want to. The original Blair Witch Project. Oh, that was great. I saw that in theater twice. One time I saw it, I was the only one in the theater. That's how you want to see a scary horror movie. You're the only soul in the whole theater. But I'd already seen it once at that point, so it wasn't scary. But that wasn't. I mean, that was. I saw it originally when I was still able to pretend like, well, maybe this is true. It was just. It was still kind of iffy there. They did such great marketing that they made it look like a true story. So, on with the list. I'm going to start out with some movies by Koichi Shiraishi or something like that. I love this director. This is a Japanese director. He does found footage stuff, but they're almost more like documentaries sometimes. And they're not like American found footage. I mean, this is high level found footage stuff. And first on the list is Noroi, or The Curse, 2005. I love this movie. I've seen it 2 or 3 times. I may watch it again tonight or tomorrow night. Uh, Great movie. And it's almost like 2 hours long, I think. So it's a great long movie, even better. Um, really good. Now, I also love another one he did in 2009 called Occult, or Okaruto. Um, this one's not as scary, and it's a little more out there, but I really love it. Uh, I also mentioned he also did a movie called Shirame, or White Eyes, in 2010, which is pretty good. The basis of this story is they took an actual group, an actual idol group, Momoroi, Momoro Clover, and they had them go to they had this legend about this spirit called Shirame who will grant, a wish if you make it sincerely. If you don't make your wish sincerely, you're dead meat. So they're all getting these girls to go to this terrible haunted place to make this wish in front of the altar of Shirame, to get them on some big New Year Thief show. But it's the actual group, the actual girls group. I mean, it's not that great, but compared to the others, but I think it's still worth a mention. And he has others. I haven't got to see any others of his yet, but he's my favorite director. I love Koichi Shiraishi. Moving along, we'll go to France. I think this is a French film. You've heard of it, Wreck. R-E-C, like record. One of the best horror movies ever. Now, you know, the Americans remade it and called it like Quarantine or something. You know, forget that. Don't even watch that movie. Go get the original Rec. They've made 4 Recs now. I think they're up to Rec 4. I haven't seen the 4th one yet. I don't think the sequels are as good. And it was perfect the way I found the movie. I just kind of stumbled across it and I didn't really know what it was and just started watching it. That's hard to do now because it's pretty well known. One of the best horror movies. One of the best found footage horror movies ever made. It's not really found footage, it's more, you know, point of view stuff, but same difference. Awesome. I highly recommend Rec if you haven't seen it, from 2007. Now, America. Well, let's not go to America just yet. I'm going to jump over to South Korea. There's a 2003 movie called A Tale of Two Sisters. This isn't really scary. I mean, it's kind of creepy. This is more of a cerebral horror movie. You know, if you like everything just laid out plain for you in front of you, you may not like this. But it's got great atmosphere, and the ending is, you know, it's just great. Highly recommend that one. If you don't want to, I mean, there's not a lot of blood and gore or anything, so if you're just wanting a good suspense horror movie, Tale of Two Sisters, I think, is definitely worth the watch. Now, some American movies. I'm not as big a fan of American horror. They just do the same things over and over again. A lot of times they'll steal movies from Korea or Japan and do remakes that aren't nearly as good as the original. There's so many good Japanese horror films. I should include more, but I just want to name a few here. But The Descent from 2005 is a great American horror movie. This is a group of like 20-somethings that they go exploring a cave system, and of course, if you're claustrophobic like me, all this footage, you know, they're in the dark, you know, trying to figure out how they get trapped. They get trapped under there, and they're not alone. So it's great. Now, they made Descent 2, which was a bad decision because I don't even remember it. It wasn't near as good. You know, they just kind of took away from the original. So you don't have to watch that one, but I definitely recommend The Descent. Now, there's different movies with that name, but this I'll show you an image of the cover. So it's awesome. Now, I do have to say Saw. I haven't seen all the Saw movies, I'm ashamed to say. But the first Saw movie blew me away. The ending. So I still recommend. It's a good horror movie. Death of a Ghost Hunter, 2007. This might even be a film from the Asylum. I don't remember. I love the Asylum. You know, they do all these corny remakes and these. They do a lot of horror movies, and you know, they did the Sharknado stuff and all that. This, you know, Death of a Ghost Hunter gets bad reviews. People just don't like it. I think it's really good. It has one of the creepiest moments that I've ever seen in a horror movie. And that's what really gets it on my list. I think it's worth a watch. But, you know, I got to tell you, most people don't like it. But I've really enjoyed it. A couple of years ago, they came out with a film called The Houses October Built. Which this was a fantastic premise. I mean, these group of friends, they got an RV and they're going around in search of the best haunted house experience, and you know, the weeks leading up to Halloween. And there's this one haunted house that is like a legend. It moves. It doesn't even happen in the same place every year. They don't, you know, announce or do anything. You have to It's almost like this attraction finds you. But that's the ultimate goal of these guys. They're trying to find this ultimate horror, you know, ghost house attraction experience. Now, unfortunately, in the end, they kind of, it's like they don't really know how to end the movie, so it's not a great ending, but I still think it's worth a watch. I still enjoyed it, even though it was a little disappointing. But it's such a great premise. Um, and finally, I'll mention The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Now, they made a remake a couple of years ago of this, and the remake's pretty good. But the original is great. 1976. It was made for a low budget. Only negative it has is that for some reason they put in like this cop who is like, uh, the dumb stupid cop. I can't think of this phrase I'm trying to say, but it's like, okay, well, we're making this good horror movie, so it's 1976, so I guess we need to put in like this bit of humor to keep people from going crazy or something. So the comedic thing is just weird, but I think the Phantom from the original, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, he's one of the best horror movie killers ever. I think he's more scary than Jason and Michael Myers. He wears like this potato sack thing on his head, but it's the way he breathes through that thing. It is just creepy as heck, man. And he's hardcore too, man. He's killing people, so. And of course, he never says anything. So if there's one movie on this list I would recommend the most for a good Halloween night watching, it's The Town That Dreaded Sundown, 1976. I love the Japanese, and there's a lot more horror movies I love, but these are just a few that came to mind. And I thought, with Halloween coming up, I need to figure out what I want to watch again, and I've been having trouble finding decent horror movies to watch anymore, so I'll probably watch one of these again, even though I've already seen them, most of them more than once. But so there you go. That's just a list of horror movies that I think you might want to try and put your hands on for a good Halloween night.